when you're in the machine of WWE, you are literally jumping town to town to town. You
Yeah.
probably don't have any chance to really savor a moment when you're doing it.
No, we're sleeping an hour to 3 hours a night. We're traveling 300 miles a night and then flying home. And it was so different back then. Nowadays, they don't have the house show. So I think maybe the travel schedule might be a little bit kinder to them. Um, but we just loved the grind back then,
Mm.
is who we were and what we did. And that's what that era was about. It was really, putting in all the work.
I'm not sure if it is easier for them because they may have got rid of the house shows, but they seem to have really doubled down on their international touring.
Yeah.
So they it seems like they are literally everywhere, so much more global than they were 20 years ago now.
Yeah, well, and having many more shows, and more opportunities for the superstars to be doing things. So,
Yeah.
yeah, but we love it. We're kind of sad when we're not booked more. When you're in that business, it's like when you're booked, you're doing something good.
Was it a shock to the system when obviously injury forced you out of the
Yeah.
business? And then you've spoken to me when we did a podcast before together about how your husband called you up and said, "Let's make a baby."
Yeah.
Was it a shock to the system to go back to civilian life, I guess, after 5 years of walking out in front of
Yeah.
20,000 people screaming your name?
For me, that wasn't really that big of a shock, to be honest. I took a year to really kind of enjoy life, enjoy time with my husband, travel. So that was beautiful. And then when you go into having babies, which that's a harder schedule than wrestling. And
Yeah.
so, I feel like I got a little reprieve for a little while, and then going into the baby mode, I was like, wow, wrestling just prepared me for an even harder schedule of having children.
Yeah.
And that schedule never ends. I was like, when does that end? Do I get a break ever? No,
No.
no. So I think it was great preparation and what was to come. For me, the harder transition was recently, about a year ago, of coming out of being a stay-at-home mom back into the work field. Because when you leave a job for children, you're leaving a job. But to leave your children for a job, that wreaked emotional havoc over me of feeling like I'm not a good mom or I'm not there enough. And so I had to just really kind of focus on that I need to do what's best for me so that I can be the best version of myself for them and really teaching them that. And so that was a really hard transition. I still struggle sometimes, like if there's a holiday and I'm working now with clients and they're at home, I'm like, wait, they're so excited to be on holiday and I'm working. I'm like, wait, where should I go? What should I
Yeah.
do? So that transition has been the hardest for me in my life.